Good morning, everyone. Trust we are doing good. It's another Tuesday right here in the heart of Lagos. And yeah, I'm your host, Akinwale Chibuike. And today we'll be talking about how to create a winning trading journal. Okay? We'll be talking about how to create a winning trading journal. And if you can hear me clearly, you're on the call, please do drop a message or an emoji of your choice in the chat box. Okay, let's do well to use the chat box. If you can hear me, drop a message or an emoji in the chat box. I gladly appreciate that. And also, if you've got any question at all, please use the question section, and I'll be sending out polls on the webinar. So let's do well to respond to the poll. Good morning, Andrews. Trust you doing good. Good morning. How are you doing? Good morning. How are you doing this morning? And good morning to everybody on here. Um, okay, so I was on the media last week and reading a few things, and I saw something that actually caught my interest, which was the fact that it's actually about cars. I'm a car fanatic, and I so much love cars. So I'm trying to like relate it to the financial markets. Okay, trying to relate it to the financial markets. And what I realized was the fact that it takes 13 hours. It takes 13 hours to build a Toyota Corolla or a Honda, but it takes 6 good months to build a Lamborghini or a Ferrari or a what's it called, a Tesla. Now, where does that point me at? It points me to the fact that good things take time. Okay, good thing. I'm not saying a Toyota or a Corolla or a Honda is not good. Okay, what I'm saying is quality, value takes time. It all takes time, and that's one thing I want you to understand when it comes to the financial markets. Everything will pan out in your favor. Okay, everything would pan out in your favor, but all you need to do is to just give it time. Okay, all you need to do is to give it time, and it will all fall in order. Take the right trades, join the right community, and see yourself grow exponentially in the financial market. So if you learned 18 or 2 from what I just said, please drop something in the chat box. If you learned 18 or 2 from what I just said, please drop something in the chat box. Thank you. Okay, brilliant. So okay, you just joined. No, I was actually saying the concept behind a Toyota and a Ferrari and or a Lamborghini or a Rolls Royce. It takes 6 months, 10 hours actually, 6 good months. It takes 6 good months to build a what, a Lamborghini or a Rolls Royce. Now, where I'm driving at exactly with that is good things take time. It also applies to the financial markets. Good things take time. Okay. Good things take time. It also applies to the financial markets. So you just need to give yourself time in the financial markets and you see growth. Okay. You just need to give yourself time in the financial markets and you will see growth, growth coming your way. So do we all understand that? So broker, a broker here in Lagos, we offer Africans the platform to trade the global financial markets. Okay, We offer Africans the platform to trade the global financial markets, and we offer the best products. We have a dollar platform, we have a Naira platform, Cloud Trade, and we have a copy trading platform. Okay, those are the platforms that we have, and you can actually capitalize on those platforms and make a lot of money trading on those platforms. And also, if you're on this webinar and you've not traded on our platform, you're missing out a lot. You're missing out a lot. You're missing out on a lot. So let's just do a quick Q&A based on our last webinar. So the last webinar, can anybody remind me what we talked about? Anybody at all? Can anybody remind me what we talked about in the last webinar? Good morning, Moses. Anybody at all? Can anybody remind me what we discussed in the last webinar? Exactly, trading the London session. Brilliant. And we did talk about the London session, how you approach the London session, the pairs to watch during the London session. We talked about that in our last class. And everybody were able to capitalize on the few trades that we placed on the last class. So today, like I said, we'll be talking about how to create a winning trading journal. Okay, so just a random question to everybody on the call: what is a trading journal? Anybody? Nobody's wrong, nobody's right. Okay, it's just rhetorical. What is a trading journal to you? What do you believe a trading journal is? What do you believe a trading journal is? Anybody at all? What do you think a trading journal is? Anybody at all? What do you think a trading journal is? Okay, since nobody knows what a trading journal is, so let's just take it from this angle. We've all heard of a diary before, right? A diary is where we keep track of the things we do, right? A diary is where we keep track of the things we do, the processes we take in life, like in detail. Now, relating that to the financial markets, we call it a trading journal. And a trading journal is where we keep track of our doings. Let's just put it that way, of our doings in the financial markets. Okay, that's what a trading journal is. Just a layman definition or a layman introduction to what a trading journal is. So, in this session, what will you learn? You will learn all about trading journal. What is a trading journal? The usefulness, creating a trading journal that works for you, a template sample, then a summary of everything we'll be discussing. Okay, then we'll analyze and place a trade. And you guys all know the drill on the webinars. Actually, we analyze, we place trades, we laugh, and all we just merry about the markets. Okay, so let's go. Let's dive right into it. Record of trading experience and idea. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Very, very brilliant, precious. Very, very brilliant. Now, what is a trading journal? Okay. Now, let me just dive right into a few things. There is a quote which is, "You are as good as your last trade." Well, I'll be candid with you. That quote is very correct to a certain degree. But however, as a profitable trader that you are striving to be, okay, to prosper and develop, you must have a trading journal where you can review every trade you place. Okay, reviewing every trade you place will help you enhance your performance and will help you deal with a lot of things that affect you in the financial markets. Okay, do we all understand that? Do we all understand that? Now, what really is a trading journal? What really is a trading journal? Now you see most people talk about journaling and all the process and all. Now you see your journal should always be something you run to before and after every time you place a trade. Okay, before you place a trade and after you place a trade. That is the uses of a journal. Actually, we've not even gone into detail on the definition of a trading journal, but let's do right. I'm trying to give everybody a vast concept so as to bring in different ideas. So, what really is a trading journal? Okay, so to me, or my perspective, my very own perspective, a trading journal is a tool, okay, for your performance management as a trader. It is where you keep your record, all your record and reviews of every single trade you take for better references, okay? And a journal will always help you track your progress as well as any mistake you make when entering or exiting a trade. So that really is what a trading journal is about. The same way a diary acts as something that you use to get your life process on track, set up your daily schedule, and all. That's what a trading journal is. Do we all understand? Do we all understand what a trading journal is? I'd love something in the chat box. Okay, I'd love more response. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Okay, so now that we understand what a trading journal is, what is the usefulness of that trading journal? Can anybody just give a random example what they think the usefulness of a trading journal is? Can anybody at all give just a random example what you think the usefulness of a trading journal is? Anybody at all? Okay, avoidance of previous mistakes. I will take that. Silas is typing. I dropped in a poll. Please let's respond to it. I'm open to more suggestions. What do we think the usefulness of a trading is? It makes you know your performance. Brilliant. Creates more familiarity to the market scenario and also enhances your learning. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. I love that. So let's dive right into my own thoughts of the usefulness when it comes to a trading journal. So a trading journal, the first thing I believe it's very, very useful for is number one, it must carry your technical projection or your technical analysis checklist. Okay. So the first thing first, it must carry your technical projection or analysis checklist. Okay. Now, what's a checklist? A checklist are a series of things you need to do or you need to see before placing a trade when it comes to the financial markets. Okay, that's what a technical analysis checklist is. So let me explain my own technical analysis checklist for you. So on the monthly time frame, I mark out support and resistance, then look at momentum from the downside or to the upside. That's the first thing I always do. Then secondly, I go to the weekly time frame. I check support and resistance, weekly support and resistance. Then I try as much as possible to align a trend line or a Fibonacci on the weekly time frame. Then I go to the daily time frame. I look at I now try to get the short-term direction of price, looking for higher highs and higher lows. Then on the 4-hour time frame or the 1-hour time frame, I look for my entries. That's just my checklist when it comes to trading. So the first thing first is it must carry your trading analysis or your technical analysis checklist. Okay. Second thing I believe should be in a trading journal is the right questions. Now, there's something I call the right question. The right question is the second part before you actually even do your technical analysis projection checklist. Okay. Now, the questions are: what currency pairs or what financial instruments am I performing best at or best with? What currency pairs do I keep losing? You have to state all of those things down so as not to make the same mistakes again. During what time of the day, during what session of the day am I most profitable? During what session of the day have I had the most losing streak? Which days am I most profitable? And am I most successful when I hold my trades for a longer period of time or for a shorter period of time? There is a lot of questions you need to ask yourself before you start placing a trade in the financial market. And those are just few out of the questions. So we said the first thing is technical analysis checklist. We said the second thing is questions. Now the third thing is the journal itself, the tracker. Okay, the tracker itself, where you fill in your trades. Your trading journal must also consist of a tracker that has a before and after. Now, the before is when you join your technical analysis, you figure out your entry points and all your tracker, which is your journal, where you be inputting these figures or the reasons must be seen on your trading journal. Then after also, reasons you are closing your trade or reason you left the trade, why did the trade hit stop loss, must also be available on that your tracker. Okay, those are just the three major things that needs to be in your trading journal. And also, one last thing that needs to be in your trading journal is a screenshot of your before and after of a trade. Okay, before and after of a trade. Before and after of a trade. Before and after of a trade. It needs to be in your trading journal. Now, you'll be wondering, how will you get a picture and put it inside a book? The world is very, very digital now. Okay, the world is very, very digital now. You can just comfortably create a trading journal online using Google Sheets, or you can create a trading journal using Excel on your PC. I'll show you how I do my own using Google Sheets. Okay, so let's dive right into the tracker. Now, the tracker, like I said, must consist of before and after of an analysis, and also it must consist of before and after of every single trade. Are we all following? Are we all following? I'd love to get something in the chat box. Are we all following? Also, I'd like for everybody to respond to the polls. Thank you. Please do respond to the polls. Just sent another one out now. Let's respond to it. Brilliant. Now that we understand that the first thing that needs to be, or the usefulness of our trading journal, is the fact that it must contain our technical projection checklist. Second thing is it must contain reasonable questions we must ask ourselves. Then the tracker and before and after of the trade. Now, how do I do it? I'll show you how creating a trading journal that works for you, how you can create a trading journal that works for you. So let me just share my screen. to my Google Docs. Okay. Let me share my screen to my Google Docs. Okay, great. Now, this is my Google Doc right here. You can all see it. So what I use is Google Sheets. I use Google Sheets to create a trading journal. So I just open a blank journal or a blank sheet, and I need to fill in the detail of the right things that need to be in my journal. Okay, I need to fill in the detail of the things that needs to be in my journal. So, okay, a minute. Okay, great. Now I need to fill in detail of things that needs to be in my journal. So what are the things that needs to be in my journal? That's the question. Now, the things that need to be in my journal are: number one, the pair, the financial instrument, the position, the date opened, the time opened, the time closed, and the date closed, stop loss or take profit, win or loss. Now, this is how I do it. This is how I do it. Let me show you how I do it. So first thing first, we name this my trading journal. Okay. So this is financial instrument. That's the first thing there, financial instrument. Then the second thing is position. What position am I taking on that financial instrument? After position, I said date opened. Before you even put in date open, you need to put comments before. Now, the financial instruments, position and before comments, what you write here, let's take for instance, okay, let's say GBPAUD. I want to go long on GBPAUD. Why do I want to go long is where will be in the before comments. So if, let's say I magically have an analysis on GBPAUD and I'm looking to buy, I can now write break of trend line, break of bearish trend line on H4. That's on the 4-hour time frame. So with that, I know that, okay, the reason I want to go long is break of bearish trend line. When a bearish trend line breaks, the first price is going up. So break of bearish trend line on the H4 time frame. So I can now write date opened, time opened. Okay, date opened, time closed, date closed. Now after that, I will now write comment after comments. Then the next thing is, then the next thing I want to confirm is SL, SL, or TP. Okay, stop loss or take profit, which one hits? Then after that, I will now write the value right here. Now, when I say value in percentage, it means if I made $8 or $8, if I made $8, what is the percentage of that $8 relative to my account? So I'm not going to write $8. I can now write 4%. Let's say $8 is 4% of my account. So it means I made 4% of my account on this GBPAUD trade. So this is how I just set up my what's it called? This is how I set up my trading journal. This is just the basic one, dude. On the more advanced one, I use a let's leave here. I just use a doc file. Okay, I use a doc file, so it's more detailed on a doc file. It's very, very detailed on a doc file. So trading journal. Now on a doc file, the process is not easy. Okay, that's why I mostly advise the Excel. Now on a doc file, you need to now start with what is a way you can make it easy. You need to start with technical analysis. That's what I wrote as TA. Okay, technical analysis is what I wrote as TA checklist. Now I'll write out my technical analysis checklist. Let's say this is 1, 2. Let's say I have 5 reasons, which are my checklist to enter a trade. After that, I'll now write questions. Then my questions met, I'll now write out the questions. Let's say there are 3 questions I ask myself before I place a trade, and all the questions I cannot tick it yes or no. Then I'll now the tracker I now did on the Excel file. I will now write it one by one like this. I'll now write pair. I'll now say okay, GBP, AUD, position. I'll write the position out. Comments, I'll write it out. So this is like much difficult or more difficult than the Excel file, which is easy and seamless. But this is very, very detailed. Okay. So after this, you will now write before and after. Before trade. That's the screenshot before. So I can now bring the screenshot like this and say, okay, this is the before coming. Let me just get a screenshot. Let's say I was going long on GBP AUD. I'm trying to get a so screenshots before. I can now put it here. That's before. After trade. If the trade has played out, I'll just put the screenshot down below. So anytime I need the screenshot, all I just need to do is what? Click on the link. It will take me to the picture right there. So that's how I do this one mostly. I don't really use the Excel because it's too easy to use, and that's just the whole concept behind it. So before we move on to the next thing on the list, has anybody got any question at all? Wow. The disadvantage of not having a trading journal is much. Like the disadvantage is much. You will not be able to track your progress. ASR will not be on track. If you make mistakes, you won't be able to figure out where the mistake came from. Those kind of thing. That's majorly when you don't keep a trading journal. That's what it causes. Okay, that's what it causes. If you don't keep a trading journal, you literally lose track of the things you do in the financial markets. That's just it. Silas, that's just it. So any question at all before we proceed? Please ask questions if you've got any. Please ask questions. I'd love to get questions from everybody. How can you create one on a mobile phone? I don't really advise creating one on a mobile phone. If you use an iPhone, you can use the notes aspect of an iPhone because you could organize it properly like Notion. There's a system for putting things in order. It's called Notion. You can actually use your iPhone notes. That's an iOS device as a Notion. The notes aspect as a Notion. I think some Android device that are released now are implementing that. But I really don't know what Android device you're using. But what I would advise you to do is just get a notebook. Do it the local way, okay? Do it the local way. Get a notebook and do the trading journal, not in the form of Excel, but in the form of what's it called? In the form of the doc file type. Okay, when you do it in the form of doc file type, it will be more detailed. And also, do you know you could actually put your markouts on that notebook? I'll teach you how. You don't need to draw the candlestick, you just need to use lines like this. Let me show you how you need to just do it. You just need to draw lines like this. Just need to draw lines like this. Let's see. Which one have I got? Okay, yeah. You can just draw lines like this. Like instead of you using your instead of drawing the candlestick on your book, it's really take time. So let's say you were seeing an uptrend, you could just draw a line like this and just in your notes, it gives you a pictorial diagram of what you saw and why you saw the trade. But also you could still keep the pictures on your phone for easy access. You just need to create a folder on your SD card or on the phone and just copy every analysis there. That's what to do actually. So I said I'll be sharing a template. I would send that template, the trading journal template, to the Telegram group soon after the webinar. I'll share trading the trading journal templates to the Telegram group soon. And in a nutshell, the summary of everything we've discussed when it comes to trading journal is the fact that everybody needs to keep a trading journal for better progress when trading. Like not keeping a trading journal, just placing AAA, BBB, placing CCC, that kind of thing, placing those type of trade and don't understanding or don't have a record of why you did that, why you should be doing this, or why you should be doing that would eventually help you. Okay, it will help you in losing money instead of making money. So keeping a trading journal would actually help you scale up the process and become a better trader and also make more money from the financial markets because you understand where the loss is coming from, what you should avoid, what you should do. You've understood every single piece of it. Okay. So before we go, please let's I'll take questions now. Let's start asking questions. I'm open to questions. Let's take questions. Please do send in your question. I'd be glad to receive them. Precious, I didn't really get your question actually. Do you mind restructuring it? And also, I'd love to get questions. I'm still open to questions. Let's send in our questions. Oh, okay, I get what you're saying now. Either ways, you use a mobile phone or you use a PC, it's all good, but just use something you're comfortable with. Okay, something you're comfortable with that won't confuse you. I have no idea about that. Only the trader can determine that for you, Adeni. Only the trader can determine that. I can't determine that. You can't determine that actually. It's only a trader that knows how long he wants to hold the trade for. You're most welcome. Any other questions? I'm still taking questions. Yeah, Precious. I think there is a delay from the delivery company we were using. So we're trying to actually change delivery companies. That's why. Okay, so in the absence of no question, let's just do a bit of technical analysis and we call it a day. Okay, so let me share my screen. So I'll take just three currency pairs or three financial instruments. Anyone wants to share with us? Anyone at all? Three financial instruments we can capitalize on today. Anybody? AUD USD. Okay, I shared AUD USD yesterday on our Instagram page. I don't know if you actually saw it, but I shared AUD USD yesterday on our Instagram page, and I took this sell. It was somewhere around here when I shared it on EGM's Instagram page. I took this sell right here, and I'm in the long actually, so I expected to buy from there because my expectation was to move into that blue region before buying or into the 50% fib level or the red moving average, but it got very close. So I think that's enough confluence for me to go long. So I went long on it because if you come down to the 15 minutes time frame, you see the moving averages are crossed also, and also that's a sweet break in structure right there. So that's a sweet break. So we might retest the red moving average, then push higher. That's just my thoughts though. So I already have the mark out on AED USD. Okay, ERJPY, GBP USD, RCHF. Okay. Let's just take it little by little. Okay, ERJPY. Let's see. So I deleted ERJPY from my watch list yesterday actually for no reason. Let's see ERJPY. Okay, let's take a very, very good look at ERGPY from the monthly time frame. Okay, from the monthly time frame. Okay, so let's just reset this. I believe we can all see ERGPY, right? So sorry, let me just. Okay, great. Now wow. Okay, minutes. Let's just hop back on the charts again and. Okay, ERGPY, we said we'll take a look at it from the monthly time frame, and let's follow my trading journal approach. So one thing I do first is to mark out support and resistance on the monthly time frame. So let's start from this last week. Yeah, the last week, which is the last week area right here, I want to measure a 1,000 pip range. So that's 1,000 for me there. So all I just want to do is to duplicate 1,000 pip range everywhere. Now this is just like marking out support and resistance blindly, but you'll get the hang of it soon when we dive right into the technical analysis itself. So that's good enough for me. Now, there's a logic I used to use. I believe price always comes to clear previous area of structure. So this is the previous area of structure here. This is initially my target. Just from the monthly time frame, this is my target right here. Like this is my target right there. So on the monthly time frame, now on the weekly time frame, what do I do? I want to look for minor areas of support and resistance. So instead of marking out or just start looking at the chart for minor area of support and resistance, what I do is I use the Fibonacci. Okay, I use the Fibonacci. That's what I do. I use the Fibonacci every single time. So right here now, I just pick up the Fibonacci and from swing low to swing high, or from the lowest point of the support and resistance to the highest point of the support and resistance, I change it to discount and premium. I got it on actually. So let's just, this is another area right there, and I could delete this and mark out another one from this high to this, not that one, the Fibonacci. I'll mark out again. Okay, so after doing this, I actually know where to look for buying opportunities on ERGPY, but I need to go down to the daily time frame now. So the daily time frame is where I want to make all my decisions add up. Now, I can pick my trend line just from this area right here and look at price, how price is building up on the daily time frame actually. So like I said, my target is somewhere around here. So we have a long way to go though, a long way to go. So let's just deal with this piece of price action on ERGPY there. So this is basic an area of structure where if we had our fibs from this swing low to this swing high, we can see that price came back to equilibrium right here. So that's telling me that price already bought. We might be getting in late on this trade. So we can now go down to the 4-hour time frame and see if there's a reason for us to actually get into this trade. So let's see. So this was a flag right here, bull flag, a correction. Then we're expecting the B. So what I expect on EUR AUD is this. Sorry, ERGPY is this. Price might likely push into this line before we look for buying opportunities. Before we look for buying opportunities to this side. So I'm actually bullish on ERGPY. Very, very bullish on ERGPY. Okay? I'm bullish on ERGPY. Bullish on ERGPY. So what pair again? GBP USD. I think I have a mark out on GBP USD. Yes, I do. I'm looking at GBP USD to actually sell before we buy. But I'm more interested in the buying though. More interested in the buying than the selling. So I'm just going to fold my hands and wait for the sell to happen before the buy. I'm looking at this monthly support as target. So monthly support or resistance is target. So let's just say that's what I'm looking at in price, or what I'm waiting for price to do on the GBP USD. So okay. So ERCHF, Okay, sorry for the breaking in connection actually. So let's just check ERCHF and we call it a day. Okay, so ERCHF, right? Yeah. Okay, great. Now, from the monthly time frame, let's do the thing. Let's just start from this week right here, and okay, 1,000 people range, and yes, we are good to go. And let's just duplicate it right here. Okay, so with this right here, I can actually start hopping on the weekly time frame. And on the weekly time frame, what I see is quite interesting. Let's get the average or the support and resistance in the middle of this. Okay, great. Now with this right here on the weekly time frame, I can actually make a bias on ERCHF. So right here we had a bearish trend, the downside, and we broke it here. So we had a bearish trend to the downside. We broke it, and now look closely. We now have a bullish trend to the upside. But this is corrective in nature. So if we go down to the daily time frame now, if we go down to the daily time frame now, we can now look at this structure right here. So what I literally expect is price on EUR CHF could still trade lower, because this is an area right here that everybody's looking at right there, and price traded into it, impulsed into it. And if we go to the 4-hour time frame, we can see clearly that when it's impulsed to the upside, the candle that formed right there was an indecisive candle. And also, if we pick a trend from this high, this piece of price action, we can't say that that's a break in the trend line, because if we try to align one down here, let's just say like this, it now adds up that there's a tendency price will push to the downside before we see an upside in price. So that's just my thoughts on ERCHF. A downside first before an upside, but let's see what price has to offer. So that's the theory price projection I will be checking before we go. So I hope you did learn a lot of things based on trading journals from this webinar, and I hope you'll be implementing them on your next trade, creating a trading journal, keeping track of everything you're doing. See you on, oh, there's a public holiday on Thursday. Okay. See you in the next webinar. Do have a lovely day ahead of you.